Hey there, Bob here. I'm going to do some maintenance on the or upgrades on the F850GS. Here's the bike. It's a 2019 Beamer, and I'm going to do a RadiusX Rekluse clutch install today. So we'll be operating down here, taking off the clutch cover and pulling out all the steels and frictions out of the basket, and putting in the new ones and putting it back together, and then hopefully it works today or tomorrow. So the directions say nothing about removing all the oil first, and on the boards they say no need to change the oil first. It says put it on the side stand. Right. So I've got an oil pan. I may add some towels, that would be wise. We got a T40 for all of these guys. They do note that there are a couple of them that have washers. This one has a washer, and this one has a washer. Those are important since they're the only two out of the whole set of, I think it's 11 that do. So so we got to make sure you get those in the right spot when it's time. All right, shop towels. Here just in case. Hopefully things don't get crazy. All right. In theory, these bolts are all the same. We'll see if that's really the case. So far the bolts are all looking like they're identical. And the manual is pretty clear about the washers and their placement. They've got arrows, lines that go to where they are, and they do make note that it's important. See what happens when we pull this baby off. Have to give it a little bit of encouragement. I don't want to ding up the thing. Here's a tang pull on. Well. Oh, there it is. Oil did not come gushing out. So it took the left ear that was over here. That left ear wound up being a good place to kind of get a little pry edge in there without getting on the edge of the case. There's just a little bit of factory seal that we'll want to be careful in taking off. So 10 millimeter. The springs are pressing against the plate, the retaining plate, quite a bit. So they're probably what's causing it to feel that way. Okay, so here we've got the pressure plate bolts, the spring retaining plate, and pressure plate springs are here, and then the cups are behind it. The pressure plate cups are right here. So set this guy off to the side. We will be reusing that. The springs we're setting aside. Those get replaced by Rekluse. So those go over here. The cups. And so that's them. We'll be reusing those. Right. Now, the pressure plate shouldn't have any more pressure. It should be happy to come out. So there we have the pressure plate. So FYI, this bike has 6,200 miles. There are a set of bearings right there in the edge. I don't know if that could easily fall out or not. It looks like it's that centerpiece is floating in there. So, well, be careful. And then the pack comes out next. There's a friction. I'm going to take these out exactly in the order and not flip anything over, just in case something strange happens and I got to put it all back together. Right. These all look brand new. Nothing looks like overheated or blued. Is this pack, and then at the very back, I believe, yeah, at the very back, there is one or two. I believe there's supposed to be two of these 7. A Judder seat spring. There is another one back there. Alright. I got a hold of it. Coax it along. Alright, here we go. So that's the last of the Judder. What is it? Judder seat spring. So the springs are not reused. They give you new springs. They give you a new clutch pack, and then they also you don't use the Judder seat and spring. So those guys are going to go in that stack just as they were in the bike. Alright, so that's removal. I'll give you a peer into this, and then we'll move on. Clutch on the F850GS. And this is with the springs and basket plate and clutch pack and the final 2 pieces, the Judder seat and spring, removed. So it is ready for prime time. Looks great. Looks really nice. I'm going to take a look down in the basket edges here, down in these edges, and make sure there are no marks, no notching in those before moving on, as that would be a sign of unhealth, and the pack would get caught up on that and not work right. So highly doubtful, given how clean everything looks on its way out. But in taking a glance up through in here, I'm certainly not seeing anything that worries me, but I'll take a real good look around the basket and make sure that that's in good shape. And then I'll move on to assembly.